Welcome to Get It Together with Grandy, the podcast.
This is a podcast for people who don't have it all together. I'm a 20-something-year-old girl who for my entire life has been trying to become the best version of myself and fulfill my potential. But I honestly just feel like a big mess. I know I can't be the only one who feels like this, so I'm starting this podcast so I can share my journey and what I'm learning along the way so we can finally get it together. I'll see you on Monday for our weekly episodes. Okay, bye.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Get It Together with Grandy. That's me, I'm Grandy. I feel like a lot of people start a podcast when they've made it in life, they're successful. But yeah, for me, I'm just a girl who's trying to get my life together. And I feel like there's other people who are on that journey too. So I thought, why not I share my journey and hopefully inspire people along the way. So yeah, thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Each week I want to update you guys on if I feel like currently I have my life together or not. And for this week, I actually feel like I have got my life together a little bit. I feel like this week has been so good because I'm actually part of a women's Bible study group, and each week we like to set ourselves a challenge to basically do something that's according to what we've read that week from the Bible. This week's challenge was basically giving up something that we're addicted to, or that thing that you feel like you do way too much and you just don't want to be doing that thing anymore. So I decided to give up watching TV shows because guys, it has become a problem. I work for myself, I work from home, so I would literally be on my lunch break and I'd be like, okay, I'll give myself 30 minutes for my lunch break, I'm gonna watch only 30 minutes of this show. And guys, do you think I ever stick to that 30 minutes? Whenever I'm watching a show, it's like that 30 minutes will come and I will see that this is the time to switch this off. But do I actually switch it off? No, I don't. It's like my brain just refuses to do it. I'll be watching this thing and I'll be like, I'm telling myself switch it off. You've only got 30, you're only supposed to watch it for 30 minutes. And I'm telling myself switch it off. And I can't. It's no, I need to keep watching this. I need to see what happens next. And I was like, that's problematic because how is this show even helping me in any way? So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go cold turkey. I'm just going to not watch any shows for the whole week so that these shows don't have this hold over me. Second thing that I gave up, actually I decided to also give up social media. Social media is literally my job. I'm a full-time content creator, so I feel like a lot of the times, because it's my job, I use it as an excuse that when I'm scrolling it's because I'm looking for inspo. That's actually not the case. I wasn't scrolling for inspo. I would just be doom scrolling like everyone else. Because it's my job, I'd be like, oh, I'm just doing it for inspo. But babe, you're not doing it for inspo at 2 a.m. when you should be asleep. No. And also my TikTok FYP is not the inspo that I need. It will literally be the randomest thing. It will be an old man sharing stories from when he was a young boy, or it'd be a random, guys, the other day I watched on TikTok this girl eat a Chipotle bowl in 7 bites. And this is what my TikTok has. It's not inspo. It's just literally mindless doom scrolling. So yeah, I also gave up that, but I only allowed myself to go on it when I'd post. I actually deleted it off my phone and only had it on my spare phone. So yeah, this week I feel like on the back of stopping doing those two things, guys, I can't lie, I have been so productive. It just made me realize how much time I was getting eaten up by doom scrolling. It's actually insane. I had things that had been on my to-do list for weeks and weeks that I had not done, but ever since I gave up shows and gave up doom scrolling, all of a sudden I had time to do those things, and it's so crazy. So I think that is something I am actually going to keep doing going forward. The week ended, so I downloaded Instagram back, and guys, straight away I was back to doing it. I was catching myself just scrolling for no reason, and guys, guess what? I've deleted it again. I was like, I can't do this. So yeah, because of those two things, I feel like this week I've been getting it together. So yeah, that's this week's update. We'll see how I'm doing next week. But as well as that, I kind of felt like I was also able to be super productive this week, because I do feel like I kind of developed a new mindset this week. I feel like, so me and my sister traveled to Paris for work, which was such an amazing work trip. But I feel like when I came back off that work trip, I kind of something kind of unlocked in my brain, right? I kind of felt like for a long time I'd kind of had the mindset of that I really needed to have like a good amount of sleep each day, and I really needed to wake up early each day. Kind of thought that waking up early was making me my best self, but I feel like that mindset made me like less productive in a way, because sometimes I would literally put like 5 things on my to-do list, and then it'd get to like 8 o'clock at night and I'd realize, oh, I've only done 2 things. Be like, oh, I'll just do these things tomorrow. I'll have to get my 8 hours. That's how I'm gonna be my best self. But I realized something when I traveled to Paris, right? Because the night before we traveled, guys, I literally had 15 minutes of sleep. Like when I say 15 minutes, I literally mean 15 minutes. I finished packing and I looked at the time. We had to leave the house for the airport at 3 a.m. I looked at the time. It was literally like 2:30. And I was like, I'm gonna sleep 15 minutes. I'm just gonna try my best. So I did a little nap, 15 minutes. And then we, went to the airport. I didn't get to sleep on the plane because there was a baby crying, which we love. She was a cute baby, but I was literally so annoyed. Obviously, it was a work trip. So when we landed in Paris, straight away, guys, it was go, 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 go. We did not have time to waste. I actually think I did nap for like 30 minutes at a point, but pretty much the whole day I survived it on 15 minutes of sleep. When we got to that end of that first day in Paris, and I realized I was so productive, we got so much done, and I did it on 15 minutes of sleep, I was like, wait, I can actually survive on a little bit of sleep. Like, I don't have to get 8 hours sleep every single day. Guys, when I came back home, I kind of adopted the same mindset. So when it would get to like 9 o'clock at night and I still had like 3 things done on my to-do list, guys, everything in my body would say to me like, don't do it, just go to sleep, But I was like, no, I'm gonna do these things. I would feel so good about it. I'm gonna have less sleep, but like, I'm actually getting things done, because I really had that mindset of like, I'll get it in tomorrow, it'll be fine. Let me just make sure I'm taking care of myself and make sure I'm getting enough sleep. I'll just do it tomorrow. And guys, I realized that mindset was not serving me at all. That whole like soft life, making sure I'm as comfortable as possible, making sure I'm getting as much sleep as possible, guys, that was not helpful to me. Yeah, guys, that is what I wanted us to talk about today. Just on the back of my experience, I realized like this whole like soft life thing is not actually serving me. Like, I looked up what soft life means. So soft life, if you don't know what soft life is, it is a term that kind of came popular probably like 2 years ago now, and I looked up the actual definition on Google. And it says it's a lifestyle that's comfortable, relaxing, and free of stress and challenges. It can also mean a life that's simplified, unburdened by responsibilities. The term is often used in aspirational statements or to describe moments that achieve the ideal. I feel like the soft life term became popular. Everyone just kind of adopted this like vibe of like, oh, I just want the soft things in life. I want the easy life. I want a comfortable life. I don't want to have to strive. I don't want to have to struggle. I don't want to have to work hard. And I don't know, I think I kind of like adopted that subconsciously. I kind of took that on board, especially because I feel like I left my 9 to 5 maybe like a year and a half ago now, and I feel like when I was in my 9 to 5, I didn't have the option of a soft life. I was literally, as you do, I had to be up every day at like 6 a.m. I would get back home at like 7 p.m. every night. No matter how I woke up feeling, if I felt good, if I felt bad, it didn't matter. I had to get to the office. Do you know what I mean? I had to be at the office, and I wasn't gonna just call in and be like, do you know what, I feel like having an easy day today, so I think I'm just gonna chill at home. Like, that was not an option. I feel like subconsciously, when I left that lifestyle and then got to be self-employed and do my own thing and make my own rules and make my own schedule, kind of felt like, oh, this is up to me now. I can do what I want now. So that means I can be comfortable if I want. I can kind of wake up at 10 a.m. if I want. I can get like 2 things done in the day and then go and get my nails done. And I feel like I kind of did that subconsciously because I wasn't able to do that when I was in my 9 to 5. What you realize though, when you kind of do that, you realize having that easygoing, comfortable lifestyle is how you don't actually get that much done. There are literally things that I would put on my to-do list on, let's say, February the 1st, and that thing will not get done until March the 1st. Like, things that I would put on my to-do list that felt like uncomfortable or felt like, oh, this is a bit of a chore, I would just keep pushing it away and pushing it away and pushing it away until so long would go by without me getting that thing done. It's actually so crazy because I feel like I would get like the bare minimum done, you know. I would get like the things that I would need to get done day to day. Those things, you know, I'd get done, things that were essential to my work. But anything that was outside of that, it just wouldn't get done because it wasn't, I didn't look at it as a priority. So that thing would just keep going down to the bottom of my to-do list. But these would be like goals and aspirations that I would have, and they just wouldn't get done because I would just be like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. And that is essentially what happened with my dream of starting this podcast, guys. Because the podcast was not like a part of my job or a part of my things that I had to do, it would just keep getting pushed. Let's say if I had like working on this podcast on my to-do list for the day, and I'd get to be like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, I'd start feeling tired, and I'd see that my next task would be like work on the podcast. I would literally be like, oh, do you know what, I'm a bit tired, you know, I've done like a couple of things today, I'll do it tomorrow. And guys, tomorrow became tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then tomorrow, like, and it never got done because I had this mindset of just like not wanting to like push myself or force myself to do things because I felt like, oh no, I need to get my sleep, I need to be comfortable, I need to not be too stressed out. And it's like, okay, but to what end? To what end are you going to just choose being comfortable over actually achieving what you want? And it's funny because I have never heard of a successful person saying like, yeah, how I got successful is because I lived a soft life. How I made it in life is because I just was just comfortable every day. I never lost sleep, you know, this whole journey to success that I've been on, I've never lost any sleep. I've done a lot of like scrolling online. I used to always like, when I was in this building stages of my dream career, I would always like spend loads of time just wasting it online and looking at funny videos. I would always binge watch my favorite shows. I would always spend every single day just kikiing on the phone to my friends. I would never force myself to work when I didn't want to. I've never ever heard anyone successful say that. They literally say the opposite. They say they had to sacrifice things. They say they had to miss out on sleep. They say they had to force themselves to work out or work on their dreams when they didn't want to. They said they had to like sacrifice not making every single event when they were working on, you know, their goal and their dream. And the thing is, I actually know that. So after knowing that, it's like, what makes me think that being comfortable, having 8 hours sleep every night, you know, not taking off my to-do list every single time is gonna help me? So yeah, I just realized all of a sudden that it's very unlikely that I'm actually going to achieve my goals if I continued with that mindset. I just had to like deep that this soft life thing, it's not serving me. I have to actually forget about it because I just don't want another year to go by without me having goals on my vision board and have another year go by without me having done that thing or haven't even started that thing. Guys, it's actually so sad that the other day I came across my 2023 vision board. I have on there a podcast, like a little podcast, a picture of a podcast. And I then looked at my 2024 vision board, and guys, guess what? I had another podcasting on there because that same dream that I had in 2023, I hadn't done anything. I hadn't done anything towards that. So I carried that over to 2024. And guys, again, a lot of the year I did not spend working on this podcast. So it's like, it's so scary to think that 2025 would come without having worked on it. Like, no, I'm just like, I can't do that anymore. So I feel like a really practical way of combating this is each day saying yourself non-negotiable tasks. Okay, this can be one, depending on how much time you have outside of, you know, the main tasks that you have to get it done. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3. Be realistic, but also challenge yourself, you know. Obviously these tasks are going to be different to whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that you want to do. For me, for example, for the podcast, if I was to set one non-negotiable task, I would say plan the next episode that I'm filming. Okay, I'll put that on my to-do list, and guys, this has to be non-negotiable. So even if it's midnight, okay, if it's midnight, if I've done all my other work for the day and this is the last thing on my to-do list, I have to do it. If it takes me till 2 a.m, I have to do it, because guess what, if I don't do it, who will? Like, so I basically like had this mindset for this past week, and guys, I can't even tell you how much stuff I've been getting done. It's weird because it's like, I know that I should do this thing, I know that this thing is gonna help me, I know it's for my own good. But when I look at that to-do list and I see those 3 things at the bottom of it, and I see that it's late, I see that I'm tired, and it's like every fiber in my body is like, don't do it, just do it tomorrow, just do it tomorrow. Just the times that I've fought that feeling and done it, I can't even tell you how good it feels to get those things done and wake up the next morning knowing you have a fresh slate. You don't have to carry over those tasks from yesterday. It's uncomfortable achieving your goals. It's uncomfortable becoming the person that you want to be. So I feel like adopting this mindset, guys, is going to help us so much. So I'm kind of jumping to the end of the episode, but I feel like that should definitely be our homework. Definitely be our homework for next week. So whatever it is that you have been wanting to work on, that you feel like you never have time to work on, but you really, really want this thing, you really desire. And it could be anything, guys. It could literally be like cleaning out your closet. If you have a closet and it's just overflowing, and every day you say you're going to do it, but every day you don't do it, and every time you go to get dressed, it's just an awful experience because you just haven't had time to do it. Guys, put that thing on your to-do list. Spend 30 minutes cleaning out my closet on your to-do list, and make it non-negotiable so you can actually do that thing. Because we all have things, you know, we all have our things that we want to do to get our lives together. We all have that thing that we want to do to improve ourselves. It could be, I don't know, attend a gym class. It could be start meal prepping. It could be reach out to that one friend who you've lost touch with, but you really, really miss them and really want to build that bond with them. And I feel like sometimes as well, we think to ourselves, you know what, doing this thing is going to be so uncomfortable, I'm just going to put it off because I just want to be nice, I just want to be kind to myself. Tonight I'm not really feeling it, so I just want peace. I don't want discomfort. What we don't realize is that feeling, it's very, very short-lived. Because let's say I have a really messy closet, right, and I'm like, do you know what, right now I'd rather just sit on the couch. I've had a long day, I've been at work all day. What's best for me right now is to watch this show and just zone out on the couch and chill. I'll just do it another day. But yeah, that feeling for the moment will be good. For the moment it'll feel nice and comfortable, and it'll feel peaceful just watching TV and not having to go through the wardrobe. But guys, as soon as you have to go back into that closet room, you'll remember the chaos that it takes to get dressed. And then you'll be like, why didn't I just do it that day? I should have just done it when I had that free time. But we chose the instant gratification because we didn't want to, you know, go through anything in the moment. Imagine you're sat on the sofa and you say to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to switch off this show and just do it. Yeah, okay, you'll have 2-3 hours of having to put in the work in that closet. But for weeks and weeks and weeks and months to come, you'll be thanking yourself because you'll be like, oh, every time you go into that closet going forward, you'll be like, I'm so happy I cleaned it out. Getting ready each day is so much better. It's such a better experience. That joy lasts so much longer than that instant, like 1 hour of peace that you wanted. So I feel like a lot of these things, like I said even earlier when I said like reaching out to that friend, in the moment it's gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be awkward, you know, how is this conversation gonna go? But once you've overcome that instant discomfort, who knows what can come out of that conversation, you know? You can just have a completely new relationship with this friend from just going through that little bit of discomfort that you just didn't want to put off any longer. I hope I'm making sense right now. I feel like this is something that has just kind of transformed how I look at things right now. I feel like I was just kind of just choosing the easy way out every single time, but even though it felt good in the moment, in the long run, guys, nothing was getting done. And the thing is, I was still keeping busy. You know, I was getting like, you know, day-to-day busy work done, but a lot of times these things weren't actually moving the needle towards my goals. Grace Beverly is someone who I've heard talk about this a lot. She kind of talks about how the best form of self-care is not always just relaxing or pampering yourself or being super comfortable. Actually, she talks about how self-care is actually doing the things that are hard, because later on we are going to thank ourselves and we're going to feel so happy with ourselves, rather than just choosing, you know, to take care of ourselves in that moment and be super comfortable in that moment. Because guys, down the line we're just going to feel so much regret and we're going to be kicking ourselves, and that's not self-care. That almost brings up self-loathing. Because I know for myself, like, wanting to start a podcast for so long, guys, and I'm actually really bad, because whenever I have like an idea and I'm really excited about things, guys, I love to tell people. I'm that person. I'll be like, guys, I've got this new idea that's going to change everything. And then all my friends will be like, oh my gosh, wow, we're so excited, we can't wait. And the same friends, 6 months down the line, will message me and they'll be like, oh, how's the podcast going? How's that thing that you wanted to do? And I'll be like, I got a logo for it, but that's about it. Or I put it on my to-do list a couple of times, but just didn't really get the time to work on it. And that feeling, guys, it makes me want to, like, I literally would want to be sick, because I'm like, why do I get so passionate, get so excited, but just don't see things through? And it can just literally make you just feel so crap. It makes you feel so rubbish. Like, why can't I just be that person that says they're gonna do something and do it? When am I gonna change? When am I gonna be one of those people who has a success story to tell? Because currently all I have to tell is the dreams and the goals, but there's no follow through. You can't be someone who follows through and also be someone who wants a super comfortable, easygoing, chilled life, who watching TV loads and scrolling on TikTok loads. Like, they just don't go hand in hand. So yeah, I feel like we need to leave the soft life, just put it in a box, and just kind of have the mindset of like, okay, if I say I'm gonna do this thing today, I'm gonna do it. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing it. Like, nothing is gonna stop me. And I feel like when we start having those mindsets, that's when we start getting things done. That's when we'll start achieving our goals. And guys, today's actually a Saturday. I've had such a busy week. The best option for me, the most easiest, the most relaxing, the most, the most peaceful experience for me today would have been to sit on the same couch and just watch TV shows all day long. Guys, instead, I decided to do my makeup, do my hair, get dressed. I will say I actually do have my pajamas on under this jumper. But despite that, I still got dressed and I'm sat here, set up the lights, set up, my equipment, and I'm recording this episode. Like, in the moment, the most fun thing for me to do would have just been to sit here and watch movies. Because do you think that would have got me close to my goal of starting a podcast? Do you think that I would be happy looking back on the day thinking, oh, I could have actually recorded my podcast today, but I didn't? Movies that are still going to be there tomorrow, movies that are not beneficial to my life at all. So yeah, today I chose to do the hard thing, and I'm actually so happy. Like, I was actually about to stop filming this. I was actually about to shut the camera, but I had to share that doing the thing that feels hard, guys, the joy that comes after it is honestly so much better than that instant gratification of choosing just to chill, choosing to relax. Guys, doing that hard thing, honestly, in the long term, is just so much more beneficial and gives you that feeling of joy for so much longer than that just instant, take it with a pinch of salt. Whenever you need to relax, whenever you need to chill, do it, girl, do it. Don't get burnt out. If you're listening to this and you're like, I've been working hard, I've been working my ass off, then please, don't listen to me. I'm speaking to the people that we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to actually do the hard things. We need to stop with this whole soft life, soft girly, self-care girly era. I'm speaking to us because that is me. Like, I've just been trying to do up soft life, and guys, it's just not been serving me. So I'm changing it up, guys, and I'm gonna be doing the hard things. I'm gonna be doing the things that are uncomfortable in the moment, because I want to see progress. Like, I'm just over being in the same place. Yeah, that is something that I have just been thinking a lot about this week, and I hope that you've been challenged by it, or it's now making you think about it. So yeah, before I wrap up, again, this week's homework is just to, put non-negotiable tasks in our to-do list, which have to do with, doing that thing, working towards that goal. Yeah, like I said, it can literally be anything. It can literally be anything that's got to do with improving yourself. And, especially if it's something that you just feel like you never have time to do, you never have time to work on that thing. That's the thing that needs to be non-negotiable now. And once you make it non-negotiable, you'll realize, like, oh, I do have the time. I just never made the time to do this thing. That is the homework for this week. Let me know how you get on with it. I'm definitely going to be doing it going forward. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening to Get It Together with Grandy. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.